Well, hello, and welcome back to that thing we like to call Curless Mania, where we talk all things pop, rock, and prog. Man, I am delighted to have this gentleman back on the channel, Mr. Luis Nasser. Luis, how are you today?
I'm doing great, man. It's an honor to be back. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. We always have fun doing this. And
Yeah,
I don't know how we got on this topic. I was trying to think about this, but I know somehow we were just talking and Pete Townshend came up. And
that's right.
yeah, and
I think that for some reason, especially lately, you don't see an awful lot of YouTube content about him,
no, you don't really.
which is odd because he's arguably one of the main figures in music. But but no, he's kind of he's like a grumpy old man. And
Yeah,
nowadays, that's for sure what he
kind of
is.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I grew up a Who fan. I'm a massive Who fan, and I really haven't done much Who content, and I love Pete Townsend to death, and so I've been wanting to do some Pete Townsend content, honestly. And when you brought that up, I was like, I jumped all over it. I was like, yes, we're doing
Listen,
that.
man, anytime you want to do Who content, Townsend content, Entwistle content, even Daltrey solo content,
Oh wow!
I'm
All
your
right,
guy.
all right. We
Like
may have to do some of
I
that.
am a diehard Who fan.
Yeah, yeah,
Although in my old age, myself, I tend to view him as a kind of a tragic figure because, this guy is what? He's going to be 81 in May.
right, right.
And what did he call his biography? Who am I?
Who am I? Right,
Like this dude is still trying to answer existential questions.
right.
How
Yeah,
sad is that?
yeah, yeah.
Like if you compare him to someone like Bowie, who is truly a visionary,
Hmm. Right.
always it's a completely different engine, right?
Yeah.
Both amazing, but I now see him as a little bit of a tragic figure.
Hmm. Yeah.
In spite of all his success, in spite of all his innovation,
Hmm.
he didn't ever really seem to value it. It didn't
Right.
seem to validate him in any way. It's kind of the point.
Yeah.
It's always been morose, grumpy.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
always kind of turned his nose up at being in the Who,
Right. Right.
and he considered the other guys in the band to be not his intellectual peers.
Correct. Yes.
So he's an interesting character to talk about for sure.
Yes, absolutely. No, you're right. And all throughout the years, he has been a very interesting interview subject because he just has no fear. He just tackles every topic and he goes, but to your point, it's always sort of a negative, especially a very negative tinge on the Who, kind of like, oh, I mean, it's funny because sometimes he'll be really positive about the Who and then other times he'll be real negative about them. He's like
So
all
that
over.
that bipolar thing he's got going is like
Right.
he hates the Who until somebody that he doesn't respect is compared to the Who.
Right. Right.
Like
Yes.
it really irritated him that Led Zeppelin were in any way comparable or mentioned alongside the Who.
Yes. Right.
And he goes on a rant about how much he hates Led Zeppelin.
Right.
So he is careful to say he likes the guys in the band.
Right.
He
He
just
likes
doesn't like
Jimmy.
anything they've
Yep.
ever done, right?
Right.
So he's that kind of a guy. Like he likes to shit on himself and his own work, but nobody else can.
Right, exactly. And then he'll say like, Moon was a genius and Ant was is a genius, but then he'll say the Who was annoying. It's all over the place. So who knows? But I think it's one of
There
those
you go. Who knows?
who knows exactly. Great, right? Pun intended. But yeah, but I think it's one of those things where it was like that was a successful band that he was sort of tethered to, and he kind of sometimes it bugged him that he was always have to go back to the Who or whatever. But however, that being said, we are not here to talk about the Who. We are here to talk about Pete's solo career, which is a whole different animal. And it starts out in 1972 with an album called "Who Came First?" And I think it's a pun where he's standing on eggs and who came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing. I don't know.
It
You
could
know.
be.
And then
I mean,
also
that was
like
just
the Who comes first, like they take all my songs. I don't know. Who knows, right?
yeah. That's right. That's actually I hadn't thought about that. That's right. That's an interesting take because a lot of there's material on that record that didn't make it onto Who's Next,
Yes. Right.
but
Right.
which was part of that whole Lifehouse thing that
Yep.
he found so frustrating because he
Right.
couldn't he couldn't get it done, right?
Yeah,
That is
Lifehouse
that.
never got finished, right? Really?
Well, you know what happened is, and it's kind of tragic, but as far as I know, he wanted it to be a very organic thing that developed with the audience, and they got themselves like a residency, or they hired somehow this place called the Young Vic Theater in London,
Yes,
and
right.
they would bring the fans every day, or they even intended for them to just kind of hang out at the theater. And every day there would be concerts, and they would be working on the music, and there would be like feedback from the audience. And after a while, the audience was like, "What the fuck is this? Like, I need to go home, right?"
No one
So they
understood.
weren't
No
buying
one
it.
understood what was happening, right?
The other guys in the band weren't buying it, but they knew, like, well, you know, when he talked about Tommy, it sounded stupid. Let's just do this. Anyway,
Right, right.
that record, I think, shows a lot of really great stuff. The way that at least I had never heard it, which is how he brought the demos to the band.
Hmm.
And these are not demos; these are actually finished. But you can tell how different his ideas were at their inception, and then when Roger Daltrey sang him and Entwistle played bass and Moon played drums, it turned into something else. But that record is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful album, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. It's so unique in his catalog, and it's very like grab bag. Like you said, there's a couple of Lifehouse demos. There's a couple of like collaborations with Ronnie Lane, and there's a cover on it. It's all over the place, but it's cool.
There's Parvardigar, that weird
Yes.
kind of cosmic prayer.
Yes. Which goes on for like 7 minutes. It's a long song, but it's great. I love it.
Yeah, so you get to see all the things that were bubbling inside Pete Townshend's head
Right.
that somehow were not really being um, materialized in his ball and chain
Right.
band, right?
Right, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I
It's
think he had done some like EPs or something like about for Mayor Baba or something like that with songs on it, and it was getting bootlegged in the US, and so they're like, these are getting bootlegged, we should just put these out.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it's a record that a lot of people don't talk about, but at least I don't know very many people who like it or even know about it,
Right, 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 right. Yeah.
which is odd. But I think it's a great example. If nothing else, it's a great example of how if you have a song idea, you should really work on it diligently to give it shape
Hmm.
before you bring it to the band.
Right,
A lot
right,
of bands, the way that they work is somebody has a riff and they bring it and they jam over the riff, and then ideas start to pile on, and then that's how that would be how many bands operate. But
right.
this is different. This guy wrote everything. He even
Yeah.
plays drums on it, right?
Yeah, he played drums on it. Yeah, he had a studio. He had a legit studio in his home, like that was like stay almost to, at the time was pretty high level.
Well, of course, and he was one of the first people to really learn how to operate a synthesizer.
Right, exactly, exactly
So he
right.
had these little VCS3 modules,
Hmm.
and if you think about it, it's really impressive. If you've seen the photos, it's almost like a fucking broom closet where he was working.
I know. It's like
And
the
he's
walls are
sitting
like
there,
this.
and he
Yeah,
has this electric organ. And
right,
as you know, organs are not like pianos. They have a very limited timbre because every sound they make is electronic. That's
right.
what the drawbars are for, to give you the timbre. And
Yes,
with this very limited thing, almost like a cubist approach to painting, he's just playing with the filters, and he's and he created all these incredible sonic textures, which then went into Who's Next and the rest
yes,
of his career.
right,
I mean,
right.
even some of the stuff on Who Are You is from those days.
Hey, I believe it. I believe it.
So
Yeah.
that record is the kind of like the B sides of all that effort,
Right, right.
which were not B sides for him, I don't think,
No, no.
but they were just who came first. Is I think you nailed it. You know that he had to write for the Who,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like, well, this is what I do when I'm not in the Who.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and Pure and Easy is an amazing track. I mean, I can't believe that didn't make it. Like that's one of those songs you're like, wow, you know. Uh,
yeah.
and and
um,
and if you think about it, Pure and Easy was really like that you listen to the lyrics, that was the main, that was like the song I was talking about. One was a note, there once was a note. It's that one note thing that you were talking about earlier. You know,
right.
it's the Lifehouse.
So it's a beautiful record. People, if you haven't heard it, I'm sure you can buy it at a discount bin somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think
So
there's
get
even an
it.
expanded version. I think there's a 2 disc version of it, which I need to get. I don't have it. So there's an
Oh, there is.
expanded 2 disc version of it. Yeah, I just
Okay.
discovered that today, actually. So, so that's cool. Um, but yeah, so this record kind of came out of nowhere, and honestly, it was right around the time of, I think it was right after Who's Next.
That's right.
You know, and Who's Next, I mean, just to finish that thought real quick, so Who's Next, Glyn Johns, I read the Glyn Johns book, and he basically said, just to clarify and just expand on what you were saying, he said that, Pete brought in these demos that were unbelievable, and they were like, he said, I couldn't believe how good they were. And for him to say that, worked with everybody. And he said that, I remember, think they were talking about Lifehouse and the theory, and this is what we're gonna do, and everyone was confused. And finally Glenn's like, these songs are amazing. Let's just make a record. Like, these songs are unbelievable, they're so great.
Right.
Let's just do an album, you know.
That's true. I mean, I remember reading Glenn Jones said, "There's no way for me to top this.
Yes.
Like as
Yes.
a producer, I can't get a better sound than what this guy's already bringing."
Right, right.
So all he had to
Yes.
do was just basically keep a bunch of those tracks and
Hmm.
then take out Pete's drums and put Moon, and
Right.
take Pete's bass and put Entwistle, and then put Daltrey on top, and then it became the Who.
Then it was yes, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. So we don't want to get sidetracked too much, but anyway, yeah. So this came out right after Who's Next, and then we moved to 1977, which is the collaboration with Ronnie Lane from the Small Faces and the Faces, which is called Rough Mix. And this is sort of the next kind of solo-ish, thing that he did. Uh,
Right. I mean that to me is that record to me is I'm kind of sick of the Who and I'm testing the waters.
right. Yes. Yes.
It has some great songs, um, but for some reason, it's not truly a Pete Townshend record, right? I mean,
No,
it's
it's really not.
it's
Yeah.
a 50-50 kind of a thing.
Right. Yes.
But there are some great songs on that. I mean, I particularly love Sheraton Gibson.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm to quote the great Chris Allo, I'm having a case of the O's, but let me just quickly search um, for the title of my favorite, just real quick. But
No, yeah, Keep Me
okay,
Turning.
yeah,
Yeah.
I am. There's a couple of other great songs I remember now. Hard to Hang On To.
Yes, yes.
I
Yep,
love that song,
yep, yep.
and I love Street in the City.
Yes, yes, yep.
These songs are great. I don't remember who wrote them,
Hmm.
but they have a very definite Pete Townshend kind of harmony
Oh, those are both Townsend songs. Yep,
with lots of open strings.
yep.
So Pete Townshend has kind of like the Wayne Shorter thing of ambiguous harmony.
Right,
He
right.
likes he
Yes.
likes his he doesn't really want to, or it seems to me, I don't know if he does it deliberately. He doesn't want to define the chords.
Hmm.
He loves a lot of sus chords,
Yes. A lot of
a lot of
open
Pete
string.
Townshend,
Yep,
open
yep.
strings, sus chords, moving shapes, right
Right. Yep.
along the neck, and those songs to me are just beautiful acoustic numbers that, again, they're sort of overlooked, but
Yeah.
I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah,
Great
yeah. To me,
stuff.
the other huge standout on this album is Keep Me Turning, which I just love. I love that
Oh
track.
yeah.
That's a great one.
But you
Uh,
see, all those they could have been hits. I don't know why they weren't.
Yeah. Yeah. They really didn't promote this one super hard. I really think this was kind of like I mean, there's an interview on YouTube with him and Ronnie Lane, and they're on the Old Gray Whistle test, and they're just kind of hacking around the whole time. They're just joking around and cracking jokes, and they're barely talking about the album. And I mean, even the presenter's like, okay, I guess we're gonna just have a loose conversation. We're not really, because he's asking them specific questions. How did this come together? And how'd you write this? And they're just joking around the whole time. They're barely answering the questions. So I don't know. I think Pete was just kind of like, "Yeah, I'll do this album with you and I'll help you out." I think Ronnie Lane needed help. I think he was a little bit hurting financially, and Pete was helping him out a little bit. That's
Well,
I understand. So
I I love it,
It's great.
but it's also not very well known.
It's another one that's kind of, yeah, that's for fans, for hardcore fans. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And even, I mean, yeah, I even like the Ronnie Lane stuff, but I definitely, the Townsend stuff, it jumps out at me more for sure.
The thing about it, when you compare the two side by side, like you do there, you do realize that there was a uniqueness to Townsend's songwriting,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is something that, and to give him credit, a lot of the really popular bands, like the Stones, even Led Zeppelin, and so forth, they were all based on the blues,
Right. Right.
and the Who is not, and Pete Townshend's work is not,
Correct. Yeah.
even though they do a couple of bluesy things, but it's one or two or three,
Yeah. On
and
occasion, he'll touch on it, but not that often. Yeah.
right.
Right.
Everything else is a different thing.
Yeah.
And I really think that he has a lot more in common with people like, you know, Johnny Mitchell or
Yeah.
James Taylor when it
Right.
comes down to how he hears things, how he articulates them, than with any like hard rock blues sort of Cream, Jeff Beck group kind of a thing. That's not what he does.
Yeah. And like you said, he separated himself from that. He didn't really like Zeppelin, and he didn't like that heavy stuff, you know?
Which is amazing because he did come up with a sound.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, people don't really. I don't think they give him credit for that. But the Who via Pete Townshend's brain is really a kind of a its own thing.
Yes. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Very unique.
And
Very unique.
this record is good for you to hear that because you hear more traditional song structures. You hear Townsend,
Right. Right.
different harmonies,
Yes.
different beast,
And
right?
you're to your point, this album really points that out, because you hear when he's side by side with Ronnie Lane. I like Ronnie Lane's songs, but like to your point, that's where it shows that Townsend's a very unique songwriter, you know.
Correct.
Yeah. So then we move on to what most people think is his first solo record, which is Empty Glass from
Yeah,
1980, right? And this album's just, oh, I gotta, this to me is a 5-star record. I love this album to death.
I agree. I mean, and it
Love
has arguably the best song that he released that was not a Who song, and Let My Love Open the Door.
Right, right,
Right.
right. Yes.
It's which a lot of people may think is, limp wristed or whatever, but I just think it's a great song.
I think it's a great song. Yeah.
And on the flip side of that, it has what I think is one of his most poignant, you know, brutally honest songs in I Am an Animal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you actually listen to that song and you listen to the music and then you read the lyrics,
Right. Yep.
I mean, that guy is basically dragging himself through a bathtub of broken glass.
Beating himself up, man.
But it doesn't seem like he's just doing it for show. It feels like a
Feels genuine. Yeah.
genuine thing,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it seems also, I mean, another standout track for me from that record is A Little Is Enough.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is also a heart-achingly beautiful song, and it paints a picture of all the problems that are starting to accumulate in his life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that record is definitely a self-portrait.
Oh, he's going through it. He was going through it around this time.
And I mean, I know that he soon after that, I think, yeah, I think about a year or so after that came out, he got separated from his longtime wife.
Right. Yes.
But
Yep.
at the same time, he was carrying on multiple affairs
Yeah,
and
he
other
wasn't pitching.
things.
Right.
He
Right.
was a guy. He's always been this guy full of contradictions, which I guess we all are. But
Right.
um, that record, the title track, right?
Hmm.
He's basically shitting on himself for being a rock star.
Right. Right.
All I need is a mirror, and then I'm a star.
Yep.
Yet I sit here at the bar, I hold an empty glass, and my
Yeah.
life is a mess, and I just wait for you to pass. Right?
Right. Right.
So
Yes.
he's just basically saying all this that everybody thinks is
All
so great.
empty. Yeah.
It isn't.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
that's one of the first records where you're confronted with this idea that a lot of the time people feel like if I just achieve this fame and this success, I'm going to be fulfilled.
Hmm. Yes.
But Pete Townshend's experience was that it didn't work. And I think and that's what this record is about. And I think the reason it didn't work is because he had to do work on himself.
Hmm.
He had to heal, he had to confront things. He had to do a lot of stuff that hadn't been done.
Right.
So
Yep.
all his energy was placed in this other bucket. He gets to the finish line, and then he realizes he's surrounded by people who just want his money. There's pressure, there's this, there's that, and it's empty.
Yes. Yep.
And
It's
he feels empty. He feels like that spiritual connection he had in the past is gone.
yes.
He
Yep.
feels sort of dirty. But then he also finds time to bitch at the press in Jules and
Wolf and
Jim.
Jim. Yep. Yep.
And how dare you talk shit about Keith Moon? Only I can talk shit about Keith Moon. Like fuck you.
They don't
And
give
it,
a shit that Moon is dead. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's it's a strange but beautiful self-portrait of a soul in torment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there's Rough Boys.
Oh
With that, it's a great song. It's
God,
I
that
think
song gets me.
I
Yeah.
think it's the first time I ever heard the Pete Townshend Kenny Jones combination for me.
Right. Hmm.
And it has that very clear homosexual overtone,
Right. Yep. Yep.
which
Yeah, I remember a lot of my friends going, "What's going on with Pete? Like, is he?" When they're listening to Rough Boys, they're like, "Hmm."
and that's another thing that's interesting about him is, to me the pinnacle of that would be Rob Halford with Judas Priest, like in the
Right. Right.
you know
Exactly.
the
Right.
metal god is
Right.
actually gay, and
Right. Yes.
to the credit of metal fans, they accepted him. There
Yeah.
was a lot more apprehension from Judas Priest than than from the fans.
Right.
Pete
Right.
Townsend is different because it's always had this macho smash guitars and jump
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of testosterone kind of vibe. Yeah.
and that record is the first of the what I call the snapshot era,
Yeah.
where
Yep.
he's not writing for the Who's audience or the people that he feels give him a commission. He's writing for himself. It's like his therapy.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Beautiful record though.
Oh, I
It's
love it. Oh my, it's
perfect.
so good. It's so, I mean, and Rough Boys, the music. I mean, I just love the music on that. It's just, and that you could hear, I could almost see Roger Daltrey going, "Oh, that's a Who song, man. I want that song." You
Yeah,
know,
but would Roger Daltrey be comfortable singing those words?
probably not. Yeah, yeah, probably
But
not.
back to what we were saying, that's a perfect example of Pete Townsend harmony. It's got all that pedal point,
Yes, yes,
all these moving chords over this D, right?
all
There's this
those
D,
chords. Yeah, those open chords again. Yep,
and
yep.
it's a great track, you know.
And then he's doing that. Da, 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 da. I just, oh my God, it just that kicks in. Oh, Rough Boys. I just,
Which is kind of like I mean, he doesn't. It's not really, but it has that. It evokes kind of like a Morse code, like a help me kind of a distress signal.
yeah, I would never thought of that. That's
It's
interesting.
like there's some shit going on here, people. Get ready,
That's an interesting take. I've never
and then
thought
it
of that.
kicks, right?
Yeah, and then it
That's
kicks
the
in.
thing with Pete Townsend. His records, they're not overtly concept albums, but they
Mhm.
always are.
They always have something going on through them. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that, it's usually a deeper thing that is more less obvious to articulate. But it's I love it. I think
right.
I agree. It's a 5-star record, no
Yeah,
questions.
and it sounds fantastic. I mean, you got Chris Thomas for who did the Pretenders and the Sex Pistols and all that, and Bill Price who worked with the Clash and all. I mean, and it just sounds so good. And another highlight for me, I just go really quick is Gonna Get You is another one I love.
Oh yeah,
I love how it ends with that track. There's something about that song. I love it. So I get it.
it's a beautiful album.
Yeah, yeah, it's so good.
If people haven't heard it, please
Oh
do.
my God, this is one of those would be like, go buy it today, go get it because it's
Yeah,
that good. So then he follows it up, and again, he's got a solo deal. So I didn't mention this. So at this point, he's doing the Who and he's doing solo records. So he's got a solo deal separately, and he's doing so he is like working his butt off at this point in the early '80s. He's like doing both. So he's going crazy. He's doing all this stuff. Um, he comes out with the second album for his solo deal. He comes out with Chinese Eyes, or All the Best Cowboys Have Chinese Eyes, which is 1982. Uh,
yes.
this is another album to me. I don't know if people think it's 5 star. I love this album too. I think this is another excellent record. I love it.
Again, it has that's part two of the Snapshot series.
Yeah. Yes. Right. More.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
I think that it has two of his best songs, for sure. In The Sea Refuses No River,
Hmm.
there he is,
Yep. Yep.
and also to me, Slit Skirts.
Oh yes, let's curse it. Like that's one of my favorites.
I
Yeah.
mean, what a tune! What
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
it's just gorgeous, right? And but even the opening of the album, people stop hurting people.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a self-accusation, right?
Yes.
Basically admitting that he's been a horrible human, and
Right.
he wants to change, but he doesn't know how.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a theme in his music.
Yeah. He
Like,
beats on him. He beats up on himself a lot. It's
but
like
I think that is consistent with somebody who's had that kind of a trauma.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we tend to not think of him as somebody weak because he's famous and he's rich and he
Mhm.
has a platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think the guy is it's a constant cry for help. Everything he's
It
just
seems
acting
like it.
out.
Yeah.
Like, but
Yeah.
in the end, the actual like he's been asking this question all along. Can you see the real me? Because I sure as shit can't, right?
Yes. Yes.
I
Yep.
think that if you listen to the music and not try to read too much into it, just like really take it at face value.
Hmm.
I think he's asking for help. I think he's asking for help using the language that he knows, which is music.
Right.
Difficult to
Right.
speak about it, and I can attest to that having gone to therapy. And going to therapy, it's difficult to talk about these things because you typically in your day to day you cast yourself as a far more heroic person than you really are.
Yeah. You sort of bury all that stuff in public.
But when you're actually honest, and that's where the therapy works, is if you find the courage to be honest,
Hmm.
then you can actually choose to do something painful but essential. I think the music is him saying that he knows he has to do this, but he's not actually taking any steps to do it.
Right.
Just like a beacon of an SOS. This is what I get from the Snapshot albums.
Yes. And it's
Uh,
interesting because to your point, you brought this up earlier that he is super successful by this point, and it's the whole idea that success doesn't necessarily bring you happiness. And in fact, sometimes it might make you upset and not happy. Uh,
right, because it's all external. You're basing your happiness on how other people view you and validate you,
right. Right.
not on how
Yeah.
you view yourself and how you validate yourself.
Right. Right.
You
Yeah.
know. So yeah, if your whole life you're just some kind of a bug in a lab and people looking at you through a microscope,
Hmm.
even if you have 10 million people who want to see you, you're still a bug in a lab.
Yes, exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
So I think you pointed out the two, like I love like Sea Refuses No River. I remember being like, wow, this is deep, man. This is like he's talking about his obviously it must be about addictions of some sort where he's basically he said he can't refuse anything. Um, you
I
know,
interpret it differently.
okay.
I think this song is his plea to God.
Okay.
And I think that he's basically the metaphor is that the sea is God. And all of us are little rivers trying to flow back to the source. And he's just saying, look, I know I'm polluted. I know I'm just a stream at this point.
Right.
But what keeps me going is that I know that if I just persevere, you won't reject me. You're
Oh,
the one thing
interesting.
that won't reject me.
Okay. All right.
That's how I interpret that
I
song.
like that. Yeah.
It's obviously his addictions are legendary, and
Right. Right.
and in the same record he also finds time to complain. Uniforms.
Uniforms, right, right, yeah.
We're just these little robots here to entertain you,
Right.
and communication.
Yep.
It's also about how mechanical and fake it all seems.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But yet he's also saying, you know, at the beginning, he's basically calling out to his wife, saying,
Hmm.
or maybe not to his wife, maybe just to some kind of wholeness.
Yeah.
He's craving this wholeness that has not been there apparently ever. And it's a painful record when you actually listen to it. You see somebody who's not having a good time.
No, it does definitely seems like
He,
that. Yeah.
he's basically a millionaire living by himself in a luxury home.
Yes. I think he's in California for some of this, and because he's talking about California a lot and how fake it
Oh,
is. Yeah.
exquisitely bored.
Completely
In
bored in
truth.
California. Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And stardom in acting.
Yes, yes.
That's another. I mean,
That's
he is
all they
from
got.
acting.
Yep.
And what
Yeah.
does he say in that song? I'm so angry you interrupted my dream. Now
Yeah.
I know that the power rests in me.
Right. Right. There you go. There
Right.
it is. Yes.
So he's basically saying it. He's
Yeah.
saying, I know what I have to do, but then once it's out, he doesn't do it.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Right.
that to me is very interesting. And you know, it's interesting because I had been through something similar in my life. I think
Mhm.
most of us do. If you actually realize that you have some growth to do, it's difficult to sometimes it somehow feels enough to just acknowledge that you have to do it, that you know what you have to do. But that's a very, very big step to actually that first step,
Mhm.
enormous.
Right. Right.
And
Yep.
it takes a long time for you to finally take it. I know it took me a long time to take it. You know, I'm in my mid 50s.
Right.
You know, that's a lot of life that was not lived entirely in a wholesome way.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but for him, maybe the success was a pressure he couldn't deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
That that didn't give him the opportunity to really just look inward
Yeah.
and
Yep.
work. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know him. I never met him. I have a suspicion if I ever met him, as much as I admire him, I wouldn't like him.
Right. Right.
But I could be completely wrong.
Who knows?
But
Who knows? But
I love his music,
yeah.
even though I now tend to think that I get more personal and spiritual mileage out of other authors.
Hmm.
I grew up a diehard Who fan. Like the Who
Right.
was my
Right.
jam.
Absolute. Yes. Yep. Yep.
But I was also he was writing for people like me.
Yes. Right. Yep.
So that's not surprising. But lately I I respect him. I admire him. This record, again, if people haven't heard it, is beautiful. You're
Yeah.
gonna get great tunes. Like if you just one of these people who don't care about lyrics, which I've always thought is bullshit. But if that's how you are, that's how you are, and that's fine. You're gonna enjoy it
Music
because
will still carry it. Exactly. Right.
yeah,
Right.
the songs are great.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you take the trouble to listen to it and the message,
Hmm.
because I've always had this contention: if lyrics don't matter, they could just be singing about potatoes and carrots and whatever,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
It just sound.
It wouldn't do much for you ultimately.
Well, I mean, it would for people who don't care
Maybe.
about lyrics.
Maybe certainly. Yeah. Maybe some
It could
people.
just
Right.
be oohs and ahs and whatever. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
But
Right.
nothing that Townsend has ever done is that.
No. 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 No.
So when you actually read the lyrics and then you hear them in the context of the music,
Mhm.
it elevates it to me.
Right. Right.
It's not really just a pop record.
No. No.
It's a confession. It's a very open view into somebody's soul.
Yes, yes. And can I just say, while we're talking about the music a little bit, that the rhythm section on this record is just relentless. I mean, the was it Tony Butler on bass, and I think Mark Brzezinski on drums, and
Yes,
and Simon Phillips. I mean, so it's the rhythm section for Big Country.
that's right. Who
Yeah.
Townsend was producing?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And then
So
oh, they just kick butt on this album. Oh my God.
yes, they do.
Gee.
And Simon Phillips.
Simon Phillips. Yeah.
What can you say about Simon Phillips? The guy, I think he should have been the guy in the Who.
Yeah. Yeah. He would have been. He would have fit in the Who. He would have.
I
Yes.
think so, but when you read interviews with Simon Phillips, and I also love him because think about that guy. He got to start with Judas Priest, right?
Oh, I didn't know
Early
that.
on,
Okay.
he's in Set Wings of Destiny.
Oh, all right. Okay.
He's in that. I think that's the album that he played on, or the one before it. But he's
Okay.
there, right?
All right.
And he was like 17 or something when he did it.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. and all the stuff he did later with Jeff Beck and all this work.
Right.
When he was with the Who after doing the solo records, I think that he said it was exhausting to play those 3 hour shows in 1989.
I bet.
But at the same time, what made it exhausting wasn't just the physicality of the music, but the fact that the band was addicted to tension.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
there was always some bullshit brewing. You could
Right.
never relax.
Hmm.
You could never just say, "Oh, we just played a great show and what great songs, and let's just go to bed." Or what. No, there was always like a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't suit his temperament.
Yeah. He didn't like the tension
No.
constantly. Yeah. So, all right. So then we move on to 1985. Speaking of Simon Phillips, he's all over this record too, White City.
Oh yeah.
And this is from 1985. And oh, I have to say too that I do like the title track. I like Face Dances, by the way. I like that. Some people didn't like that track. I like it. I think it's cool.
Well, but it's a title track for the Who record, not for the Townsend record.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like brain salad surgery for ELP. It
Right,
ended up
right.
in a different thing. It wasn't actually on the record, right?
It's not on the album, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. So about Face Dances, to me, I mean, it is again, that is more of truly a pop song, I think.
right, right.
And I would imagine that if you brought that demo into the band, they would have been like, "What the fuck do we do with this?" Right?
Yeah, I don't know what yeah, right, especially Rod doing.
There isn't a lot of room for bombast.
No.
But the Who did best, it wasn't there.
Right,
So,
right.
but it was such an important thing for Townsend that he decided to call that first Who album Without Moon Face Dances.
Kansas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, they came out around the same time, didn't they?
They did
81.
pretty close together. Yeah, pretty close
Yeah.
together for sure. So interesting. But
Another great track from Cowboy Eyes,
mhm.
uh, I think, is Somebody Save Me.
Oh yeah. It happened again.
So
Some
he's basically saying, I have had really good luck.
yeah, yeah.
Something has prevented me from the ultimate disaster always.
I thank you, my friend. Yeah, right. Yep.
Like somebody takes the fall for me every time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little shocking, but it's a great piece.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's your take on White City? This feels a little bit less like but self-referential, a little maybe a little
That's not one of the Snapshot albums, in my
yeah,
opinion.
this is not a snapshot record. This is more of like him
The
telling
third of the Snapshot albums is Psychodelict,
right, right,
which is for later. But
right,
this one is him trying his hand at. He's always had an interest in movies.
right,
He's always had a thing. He's been trying to tell a story of somebody from White City, which is a low class neighborhood in London.
right,
Um, it's loosely a concept album, I guess. It's the story of that main character who's I don't think he's ever even named on the
right.
record.
Right. It's not that compelling as a story, but
Well, that's the thing with Pete Townshend that has to be said. Dating all the way back to a quick one while he's away, and then Rael, all these songs that he's been doing. His storytelling is only is really in the music.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not in the actual characters and the flow. And in this particular one, I find that I mean the addition of David Gilmour elevates the album.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah,
So you got
agreed.
David Gilmour, you got Simon Phillips,
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
you have Pino Palladino playing fretless bass on
yeah.
what is arguably one of the best Pete Townsend solo tracks in Give Blood. I
Blows my
mean,
mind. Yeah,
I I've been playing that bass line note for note for years, even though I don't have a fretless.
yeah.
It's just so fucking brilliant,
So
the
great.
C
Yeah,
minor thing that he does, and Pino's got a completely different approach to bass from Entwistle or even Townsend. So you can tell
yeah,
the bass line was written by Pino,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And it's just such a powerful, and unusual because it builds, right?
Yes, it has that slow build. Yeah, yeah.
And there's like a heartbeat.
And then those crashing Gilmore chords come in. Yeah, yeah.
It's a well the Gilmore is not the Townsend is the crashing chords. Gilmore is the guitar with delay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
Gilmore.
yeah,
Gilmore's doing the rickety tickety thing that he
right,
does with
yeah,
Floyd
yeah,
for that song.
right,
It's just it's an amazing piece of music, I think.
yeah,
I don't know why the Who didn't play it live
yeah. Why the who did exactly? Right,
because they could have just killed it, right?
right,
But it's a beautiful piece of music. Again, the lyrics are a little bit not dark, but there's a hint of a complaint.
right, right,
Give love and keep blood between brothers.
right,
Like,
right.
people will take advantage of you.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes,
the message.
right.
And it's
Oh, sign that blood is not enough, or whatever. There's always
yeah,
that.
it doesn't matter what you do, they're gonna want more.
Right, right. Yeah,
People will bleed you dry.
yes,
This is what he's saying. So
right.
so protect yourself, don't let them bleed you dry,
Yeah.
and play your cards close to your chest, which is something Townsend is not good at all.
No, no, he's not.
So again, he's saying one thing, then doing another. But
Right.
that's the song, and it's a gorgeous piece of music.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. The music is incredible. I love it.
And then you have, Face to Face, which was sort of popular. I remember hearing it.
It was a hit of
Yeah,
sorts. Yeah.
or of sorts, yeah.
Yeah.
The Who did play that song,
Did they?
the '89 tour, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
If you hear that album they did from that tour,
Mm-hmm.
Face to Face is there.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Uh, Crashing by Design.
Ooh, Crashing by Design is a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
But the title track, man,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
one of the few Townsend songs that are based on an arpeggio, kind of like Behind Blue Eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yep.
follows that formula, and it has a beautiful fretless solo on bass.
Yep.
I don't know
Yep.
who played that fretless solo. It sounds Gilmore-ish, but maybe it
Okay.
was maybe it was
Oh,
Pino. I don't
that's
know.
interesting that you say that because I believe that White City Fighting was actually a Gilmore song that was he recorded for his solo record that he didn't use.
Well, Townsend helped him with that, right?
Townsend helped, right? Townsend helped him write lyrics on
Yes,
Love on the Air and some other song on
yes,
About Face, and then All Lovers Are Deranged, and then he did, and then
correct.
apparently White City Fighting was a Gilmore kind of music. So it's interesting you said it sounds like Gilmore because it might be.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that if you listen to that bass solo, it has a lot of common themes and threads with the fretless bass solo of "Hey You,"
Yes, right. And that's interesting. I never thought of that. There you
which
go.
is
Yeah,
definitely Gilmore. That was never Waters,
that
right?
was Gilmore. Right, right. Yes.
Or the stuff he did in Pigs.
Yeah. Yep.
That beep,
That's
beep,
so
beep, beep,
interesting. I
beep, beep,
never
beep.
thought of that. That's it. You got it. That's
Those
it.
phrases
Yeah.
are in White City Fighting,
Right.
right?
Right.
Which makes me think the person who played it was either Gilmore or was influenced by Gilmore, because that's a very Gilmore,
Yeah. Yep.
harmonic device.
That's a
A lot
great
of
point.
devices.
Great point. Yeah.
But again, it's a beautiful record.
Hmm.
It's bouncy. I think that again, I don't know if you ever seen the attempt at putting together the movie.
I have not seen it now.
That's
No.
on YouTube.
Okay.
So I'll email you that if you want to throw it up in the comments for the viewers.
Okay. Okay.
Check it out.
Right.
I gotta tell you, I saw that, and those visual images have absolutely nothing to do with where my mind went when I heard the music.
Right. Right.
Right. So it's another example, like, well, I guess I'm really not like Pete Townshend at all, which is probably a good thing, but I don't see the connection.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
it's the music soars though.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the closer?
Come to Mama.
That's also it has that little sequenced backing,
Hmm.
and
Right.
then it's just it is a sort of subdued but pounding tune.
Instrumental, right? Is it
Yeah,
instrumental? Yeah. Yeah.
it's I like it. I
Oh,
think
it's cool. Yeah.
it was around that time also that um when he was trying to get out of the Who, by that point they had already done their farewell thing, right? Yep.
Right. Right. Right.
So he was trying to do the thing that Sting did so successfully.
Yes.
He
Yes.
couldn't do it. Like Sting broke off from the Police, and he just became bigger.
Yes. Yeah.
Pete Townsend broke off from the Who and went nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that that particular album is sort of a missed opportunity to really just embrace being who he is, as opposed to carrying this noose, this albatross around his neck, right?
Mm,
Of his
yeah.
obligation as a spokesperson, self-perceived, of his duty to Who fans,
Right.
who he's
Yeah.
turned his back to.
Hmm.
But his duty to himself, he wants to do different music with different people.
Yeah.
But it's a great record. I just wish that he would allow himself for once to just write a collection of songs,
Yes. Yes.
not have some kind of theme linking them.
Yes.
Just let the music speak, right?
Right. Right. You're a great songwriter. Just write songs and put them out. It's okay. You can do that.
I
Yeah.
mean, when Glenn Johns decided who's next is going to be that,
Yeah.
I mean, we diehard fans knew there was like a deeper story that was somehow chopped up.
Right.
But
Right.
people who don't know about that usually think that's their favorite album.
They don't give a shit. They're like, it's a great record. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of the thing he's never been able to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
That he's at his best when he just plays music and sings about his feelings without necessarily having to preach or tell you a story.
Yeah. 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 But that's, isn't that the Keith Richards, they asked him about Pete Townshend. He said, oh, Pete thinks he's an artiste. And like, that was like his, because Pete's always striving for, I want to do a bigger thing. I want to do a movie with it. I want to do a story with it. I want to do a concept. I want to, he's always pushing for that.
And there's nothing wrong with it, but he
Right.
needs a collaborator.
Yeah. 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 He can't do it
Egos
all.
sometimes
Can't do it all. Yeah.
egos don't always let it happen, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a great point. Well, I think that's a great way to stop. I think that's a perfect point. We're going to do part two. We've already talked about this. We're going to do Iron Man and Psychedelic, and maybe even do some, like, because he put out Lifehouse later as a,
Multiple versions.
yeah. So we can talk about that too. That could be part two.
Yeah, and I know that he's actually he's. I don't know if you saw the Colbert report, not the Colbert report, the Colbert Late Show interview with Pete Townsend.
No, I have to watch that.
Watch it, because he in that thing he's actually said some interesting things about him having like 400 songs in the can,
Oh my God, I don't.
and that he wants to put some of them out, and that he also wants to take some old songs that he couldn't make them work,
Hmm.
and he wants to use some AI like Juno thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that exploration, the thing that drove him to the synthesizers initially, is still
Right.
there. Now he's just saying, well, now it's AI
Right.
to
Right.
do it, right?
Yeah. Let's just use AI as a
He's
tool.
not being precious about it. He's saying
Right.
maybe there's some hits there.
Yeah.
AI to polish the
Right.
turd, right?
Right. And it might be easy to make them hits with AI. Right. Exactly.
So that, yeah, I mean that'll be a good conversation. But for
Yeah.
people who have never heard these records, I personally highly recommend them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean the last three in particular,
Yeah. Yeah.
those
Those
are
are killer albums.
the gold nuggets, right? They're all great.
Yeah. Those are killer records. I listen to them all the time. I always end up going back to those three records all the time. Like
Yeah.
they're always on my playlist somewhere. Yeah. So I just think they're so good musically and lyrically. It's just, yeah. So anyway, and we didn't even talk about like the Scoop stuff. We can talk about that some other time too.
Oh well, yeah, those are just demos, right?
Right.
Just
That's just demo stuff. But like you said, just for Pete Townsend means like pretty well done. So um
and interesting in their own right.
sort of fascinating to see the guy at work in his dungeon. Basically, it's kind of what the Scoop thing is. You kind of see him making demos.
But
Uh,
also the breadth of the stuff that he did. There's a
right.
lot of range.
Yes.
So
Yes. And then like you were talking about his studio. Like this is the picture I always think of. You were talking about his studio where he's like,
that's right. The
yeah,
little
where
broom
he looks like
there,
he's in a
there he is.
closet. He's in a closet. Yeah.
You
Um,
know, that's not what you think of when you think of a studio, right? I have a studio at home.
yes.
That's not what you think of.
Of a
That's not what I thought
big
anyway.
expansive room with tons of, yeah, exactly.
It's
Uh,
a it's a very guerrilla mentality. I love it. Like
I love it.
he
Yeah.
just wanted to work.
It's inspiring. It's inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean nowadays most of us we do all our work on little things like these.
Yes. Yep.
You record into laptops.
Yep.
Only rarely go into a studio for maybe drums or
Well, when
something you can't
as you
capture
know,
easily at home.
you're a musician. You know, it's like you spend all this money on the studio time, and then people want your music for free. It's like it doesn't, it
Oh yeah.
doesn't financially. You're like, okay, I'll just do it on my laptop because nobody wants to pay for it anyway. So, uh,
Well, my take on it is different. Um, I do it because I'm compelled to do it personally. I have to do it.
no, it's true. It's
So
true.
when I do it, and this is just I'm just speaking for myself. I do it primarily for me
Yes, yes,
because there is a very big difference between hearing music in your head and then hearing that music through your ears.
right, right.
So I have to please
That is
myself.
true. That is true.
First
Yes.
and foremost, it's about me.
Yeah. It's about getting it out. Yes.
And sometimes I write music for other people
Hmm.
that I'm grateful for, that I've inspired it in some way. But primarily I write it for me. And then if I like it, then I'll see if others like it and if they want to actually put time and some of their life into recording it, which I'm always grateful for because we all have a limited hourglass.
Right. Right.
And
It-
once it's there and we're all happy with it, it goes out into the world.
yes. Yep.
And I have been very fortunate in that, although I am by no means famous or rich doing this, I have a core fan following that has enabled me to keep doing this for 30 plus years.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge.
So I have no reason to stop, and I love it. I don't really I don't love I've had a war with Spotify from its inception.
Right. Right.
I think at the very beginning I only got an Instagram account. I didn't really know what it was, but I asked a friend who was not so socially disconnected as me, and I got it, and I just got it so I could curse at the CEO of Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liken him to an anal parasite for pigs all those years ago, and I maintain that position.
That's a great description, man. That's
So between him and this other guy that everybody always thinks is great, but really fucked music over, Steve Jobs.
yeah, right, right. Yes, he fucked
Between
me.
those two guys, that was the end of that very brief period of musical prosperity.
Right.
I mean, you got to remember, fucking Tchaikovsky had to give piano lessons to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tchaikovsky.
That's true. That
And you
is.
can go to a library and you can find his notes
Yep.
of the lessons he gave. They've been put together by Dover Books.
Yep.
I studied them. They're great. But anyway, for me, that's something I always take to heart. Tchaikovsky had to do what I do.
Yes. Yeah.
So there was an anomaly in the 60s and 70s, and it sort of bled into the 80s and 90s, and now it's over.
Now it's back to that
It's
time.
back to you got to work hard, you got to
Work
be on
at
the
it.
road,
Yep.
and people are not going to respect you. And that's just how it is, you
Yep.
know?
Yep. But no, but I feel you because I'm a musician as well, and I know what you mean by you love it, you can't help it, it's in your blood, it's got to get out, and it's you're creating art and putting it out to the world. That's a pretty noble thing to be doing. So
By the way, I love the shirt. Have you been to
oh
Reckless?
oh thanks, yeah, I love Reckless, yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
love
mean,
that place.
oh I've spent a lot of money at Reckless Records. Oh my God, you kidding me?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Great building.
they've taken a lot of my money. So anyway, Luis, thank you so much.
Thank you
Uh,
for having me. It's always a pleasure.
love having you, man. We always have a great time, and you always bring a lot of stuff, to the surface that I never thought of, which is I love that. That makes me think. I like it.
Likewise, I never pieced together the who came first.
There you go. Once in a while, I come up with something.
They always do. That's why you have the channel.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, thanks, man.
Don't
And
be a Pete Townshend. Don't shit on yourself. You're doing a good job.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Thank you. Appreciate it. No. So anyway, thank you, people. If you with us this long, you must be a big Pete Townsend fan. So thank you, and please give us a like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll be back with part 2 for Pete Townsend. We're gonna do more. So but thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time on Curless Mania. See ya.
Cheers.